But thank you. And thank you so much for reporting to you for my TBC Live broadcast. This is Stephen Tyrone Cuffey reporting to you for my TBC Live broadcast, um, number 195. 195. Okay? I want to thank all of you for being here today. And I wanted, before I get to the subject matter of this live broadcast, just want to go and check our blog. But first, before I do that, I want to thank my little one, Kayla, for always being there supporting me. And hello, little Kayla. And my loved one who always supports me always. These two people are always there for me, as well as a lot of people in the Bangladesh community that's here with me today, as well as others as well. But I'm going to go right now, before I go to the blog. I'm going to just check here and see who's here with me. And I believe I checked and I saw quite a few. Thank you all from the Bangladesh community that's with me today. I want to also thank Susan Harder uh, from being out in California. And I'm sure your husband is with you too, Jacob. Okay, thank you all for being here. I left my YouTube link out if anybody would like to join me. That's up to you all, but you don't have to. You know, I'm not saying you have to. That's not a requirement of any live broadcast. Just that it's great to have people here that like to join me to discuss any matter that about TBC or anything that subject matter we're talking about. I want to make an announcement to you all that is a very, very strong possibility that I'll be doing the Send Button meeting for English again this Monday. Ryan is still in Hawaii with his wife and friends. He's having a wonderful time celebrating his birthday and other activities festivities that's going on with them. And so he asked me to do this. He asked me earlier this week that would I be willing to do it, and I said yes. I also will be having a broadcasters meeting for all broadcasters right after the Send Button meeting on Monday. It's right after the Send Button meeting, and I'll be providing the Zoom link in the broadcasters chat room, and I will provide it to the Bangladesh chat room as well, because all broadcasters, I don't mean English speaking, I mean all broadcasters should be at the broadcasters meeting around the world, as well as the people that's in our Send Button meeting. Please get people out to the Send Button meeting. We need a lot more. There should be close to 1 million people on the Send Button, I believe, and we can't even get 1,000 people there, and that's why people make mistakes in our TBC wallet, tbc009.net. Okay. And also, there are other facets in our meeting that we talk about that we cannot discuss in any broadcast or any other facet. Okay. All right. Now, let me thank you all for Jacob. Thank you so much for coming on, sir. All right. Now, let me go to the blog because I don't believe there's any new blogs. I checked, but we're going to do a screen share and then we'll get right to our subject matter. Okay. All right. I'm gonna just refresh this because I believe I just looked just now. There's not been any new blog posts the last couple of days. Okay, so this last one was my broadcast. Was actually my 192 second broadcast that talked about, there were some broadcasters very excited among, and that was the Bangladesh community as well as some other people that was on that live broadcast with me. Okay, so let me come out of this and. And it's going to be kind of a continuation of what I talked about yesterday to some extent. I hope that I'm not sure if the TBC Revolution will be here today, Tafimi, because we had a discussion about that on his live broadcast. That was on his live broadcast near the end. Okay, now, all right. Well, I'm gonna say this to you. That I had Victoria Flores send me a video of my leader, Carrie Valpano, known as the Whitefish Lady on YouTube. And I've never seen my leader. She's my upline, as far as Crinkle Cash, and been my leader since my previous leader left me and my team early days of TBC. And she's been my leader since April of 2017. And it saddens my heart to say that she decided to leave TBC because the SEC or SCC have decided sent her subpoena and a few other people involved in TBC. And she was actually tearful in that video on her YouTube link as TBC. Actually see it on her YouTube link at she's called the Whitefish Lady on YouTube. And she's helped so many people in the TBC community. And she has been all for TBC since she came in, I think it was in November of 2016. She actually was in before I was. And it's just sad to see that a person of her caliber leave, because she's helped so many men and women around the world. Even when a lot of people, she was one of 100 people that had a send button back in 2000, that never got her send button taken away. And we had a lot of technical problems last year. It was only about maybe 100, 110, 111 people that had send buttons, and Randy was one of them. But I didn't have I had a send button, but I did nothing wrong. They just took a lot of people's send buttons away because people were kept making multiple transactions per day, doing what they call rapid fire transactions on our old network. And rapid fire transactions is doing several transactions before they even confirmed the first one. Just doing them over and over. That's what they call rapid fire transactions. There was actually a blog post showing a machine gun as referring to rapid fire transactions back many months ago. Okay, so we should never do rapid transactions on the TBC 009 wallet as well. Never ever. Okay, although the capacity is stronger, our network is much stronger under this server, but still never do what they call rapid fire transactions. If you do one, make sure that is confirmed on the receiver side. Okay, make sure that it's confirmed. There shouldn't be anybody doing transactions. I'm gonna just talk about this a little bit. Well, actually, I won't deal with that. I'll deal with that during the send button meeting. Y'all just need to be at the send button meeting, okay, on Monday morning. The issue that I want to discuss is, it's brought to my attention. Femi told me during his live broadcast right after mine that there are some people in his country, Nigeria, have asked some government officials in his government, Nigeria, to discuss TBC. And the first thought to my mind was, no, there's no one, and I'm gonna repeat that, no one should be discussing bringing anybody from your nation talking about TBC. Did y'all forget one thing? I'm saying, and I know everyone is listening to me. I know people in the chat understand this, but I'm talking to the world. Did you forget one thing? Is there anything in our agreement that talks about public? Anything? No, it's not. No, we are a private organization. We're not causing any problems or breaking any rules. This is simply like a regular barter system that when you got a product, you pay for it. You see my point? We don't have to take cash for our coin, folks. You don't have to take any fiat currency for someone to send you some TBC. There's nothing in the rules say you have to take. They say you can purchase $100 or more, but we can take. I'm gonna give you an example. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. Let's say someone here like Jacob Harder. I'm gonna use him example. And Jacob, I had he was really into music, and I had some old albums. You don't see albums no more. That's the old technology. Had some old LP albums of some classics. And he was into classical music. And I said, I really want to I want to get some TBC, purchase some TBC from you, but I don't have the cash. I don't have the fiat currency cash. I don't have it. But I have some incredible classical albums you need to see or hear. He said, really? So we get together. He plays them on an older record player and plays, and he loves them. I said, I tell you what, can we make an arrangement? I would, because these are classics. Could I purchase at least $100? Can you send me $100 worth of TBC for these albums, these classical albums? He said, sure. Then the transaction occurs. You see, anyone in your nation around the world can make a transaction between you and that person, peer to peer, person to person, with no cash involved. That is your regular barter system around the world. They are breaking no rules whatsoever regarding that. Now, if you have sold a lot of TBC, and I don't know if that's my leader's case, the Whitefish lady's case, but if anyone out there has purchased a lot of TBC or sold a lot of TBC and made money from it, and you didn't pay no taxes, then that's on you. If you don't follow the actual guidelines of your nation, then that's on you. That is not the responsibility of the administration of the Billion Coin. And I'm going to tell you something of someone of authority that used to be a court official. I was a probation officer from the state of Virginia. And I used to work side by side, judges and attorneys, every single day, at least 5 out of 7 days a week when I worked. And I'm telling you that you have to follow the rules of your nation. The powers that be, whoever they are. Okay? If you haven't paid any taxes on things or have not followed any guidelines, I don't know why would someone sent a subpoena to some of the leaders. I had heard about this a long time ago. But I'm going to just say to you that it's important that whatever the SEC or SEC or whoever the powers that be out there are contacting you to answer some questions, be willing to answer those questions in an orderly, educated way. And that's why I always tell all of you all, know what TBC is, know what it isn't, know what your correct role is, and know what your correct role is not. My friend Gerard Windsor said those 4 things, and he was exactly 100% correct. Because if we don't know those 4 things while being in TBC and cannot answer that question adequately, then we have to look in the mirror and check ourselves. We need to go back to the drawing board and learn those things. It breaks my heart to see that woman crying on YouTube. My leader that has helped me and my family. And my kids. My 2 kids that happen to be in TBC, that's young adults. It's sad to see some of our leaders that were some of my main leaders in TBC before I even came to my level in the community. That's getting out of TBC because the heat has been on them. See, you got people out there talking too much. What do I always say? We're building TBC underneath the radar. But see, these people are opening their mouths and saying things. They're above the radar, so all the powers that be, you're waking a sleeping bear. You're putting a stick in the hornet's nest. You open the eyes of the people who have control over a lot of things in your country. And therefore, they're coming after you. Now, most of you have never been a court official. I am. I have been one. I know what to do if that happens. I have friends that's judges. Yes, I do. Very important people in my state of Virginia. But I'm leaving and guessing what I'm doing. I'm leaving it in our awesome God's hands. That's what I do. I don't worry about the government and all those people. I don't worry about that. And I have nothing against none of them. I've never said anything that bad against the government. Only thing I've said is spoken the truth. That they haven't really helped us in the last few years. They just haven't. They have way too many people poor and in poverty and in different nations around the world. I'm not speaking just here in the US. The United States is one of the wealthiest countries on earth. Probably the most powerful army, armed forces on earth. There's a lot of great things going on in this country that I'm in. I'm not necessarily saying it's the best, but it's definitely one of the best. But they are not helping people in poverty like they should. They got too many people in higher places in our nation capital that's all about their dollar, not helping you. And that happens all around the world. I follow Mr. Jeff Barrick, the Dollar Vigilante, and he talks about this kind of thing all the time. Talk about anarchy and all these things. You know, it's so many great things going on around with people. Because what it is, they bringing your powers that be, they're bringing them out to light for the truth, for who they really are. So I'm saying to you all, for those people out here, I've had a few people contact me, asking me what is the latest going on in any new news or what's the latest. See, I know a lot of people reaching out to me because Randy is not available to reach out to. And I appreciate that. I pretty much can answer questions for you pretty well. See, I'm not talking to admin. No matter how many people that think that I am, I'm not speaking to admin. But I speak with Randy, who speaks with who communicates with TBC admin. And we talk about things that I can't talk to you all about. But it's all good things. But it's one thing that we cannot do. We have to learn to say the right things when we open our mouths. We cannot be printing things like I showed you yesterday. And see, my feeling is, if that really was a document of our admin would have probably let us know by now. And admin has not even, and I know admin had probably seen my live broadcast yesterday, and admin has not said anything as of yet. And they may not. I don't know what they're going to do. And it doesn't matter. Whatever admin's decision is admin's decision. And we have to live with it. I could see Carrie was really hurt. And she probably said a little too much because she's really overwhelmed. She don't have a lot of people to turn to. Okay? She didn't have a she didn't have she did have a leader to go to, but I don't know how that went. See, I don't know. I've been hearing from some people lately that was all about TBC in the beginning. I haven't heard from them. I guess they've gotten out. I don't know what it is. See, people get scared. I don't get scared by people, the powers that be, because I've worked around powerful people in my life. They're people. I see people who they are and who they represent. And yes, I have total respect for anybody out there. Anybody. It's just that I paid my dues. I worked in corporate America. I've been retired since 2011. I don't have to answer to anyone at this point. And if I do, I will. But my thing is, the only person I am to is my what? our, which is not mine, it's our awesome God. That's who I listen to. So, and that's who my faith is in. Because I believe wholeheartedly it was our awesome God that put that knowledge into admin's brain to start the Billion Coin and made it what it is today. We have a great, great coin, people. And the mission is powerful. And that's why people are noticing it. Do you think they're not going to notice when we get to 500 million people? Or 3/4 billion people? You think the eyes not going to open? They're going to wonder, what are they doing? How are they able to do this? We are a sovereignty group of people that's not dependent upon, and we own our own territory, our own community, our own building, our own economy without any help from anybody else on the outside. We didn't ask for no help. We're not asking for any help. All admin asks us to do is do what? Build, build, build our community. That's it. That's all admin do. They ask us to build our community, educate our community the right way, as described in our. Thank you so much for coming with me. I'll be right with you, Femi. I'm so glad you came on. I'm so moved. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
We're building our own community without any help with anyone else. You know, when I hear about his nation, people talking about their government, we're not a people. Listen, I'm going to say it again. We are not a public organization to no extent. We are a private. Do you understand what private means? Do people know the meaning of private and public? So we cannot be putting public notifications out on Facebook or other social media. Social media was never meant to be bad. But we got certain trolls. See, these are, you know what I look at it is? It could be still the trolls at work. Trolls, I call it trolls undercover. Still trying to do their dirty work to undermine and underhand what we're trying to achieve. But you have to ask yourself, are we going to let that happen? See, I look at it this way, and I've said this many months ago when I was doing live broadcasts. I look at it as, I remember I've locked up people for home invasion when I was in my line of work. I mean, I have people virtually go into people's homes and have a sawed-off shotgun pointed at a person when they're going to put food in their mouth. Yes, I've done that. I've locked people up for that. They're serving time in the penitentiary right now in my state of Virginia. Some for life. So what I'm saying to you is this. I'm telling you, I'm being real. This is real talk today. I'm being real with you. I've done some things to protect the people of my state. And they got these people like me, that what I was doing in every state, all 50 states, 51 states in our country. And they got it on the federal level as well. I worked on the state level. But it's one thing that I learned, that you gotta be careful what you say. When you speak, you gotta know what you're talking about. And you can't disclose information that could be harmful to a group or organization. See, anything good, there's always going to be someone to challenge it. I talked about Microsoft yesterday. What they try to do, the federal government tried to do to Microsoft, because Microsoft was growing so fast and it was so great and so good for the world. They were saying, what in the world, what are you doing? You're like a monopoly. But you know what it was all about? All about the dollar, the money. That's all what most things are the wars, everything is all about this, money. That's what it's about. It's now that same money they're spending billions of dollars in a war. is not using that billions of dollars to help the poor, the people in poverty. They don't have food to eat, don't have drink, proper water to drink, and proper medicine for their bodies. It's about humanity in TBC, not about anything else. We're not trying to be bigger than everyone else. All we want to do is help humanity. So what I want to do is bring my friend on right now, Mr. The TBC Revolution, Femi, out of Nigeria. And Femi, I want to give you the floor for a minute because I want you to just, be yourself with people today. Tell people what you know, what you, in your opinion. And your opinion matters to a lot of people out there. Y'all need to listen to him right now because we've had discussions on his live broadcast. We send each other messages time to time. So I'm going to give you the floor, Femi. Just tell them people what you think about this subject.
Hello, Stephen. Thank you for inviting me once again. I think you've actually nailed everything. You've nailed it. And I still stand by the principle that we're supposed to live by, and the principle that the TBC admin and all the leaders have actually put before us, that whatever that is not visible in the Kringle Cash back office and has not been released on the blog is invalid and fake until it is proven to be valid. That is the safest and easiest way to keep standards in the community. Because one thing I realize is some leaders are claiming or saying that the document is actually valid. I read the document, it makes a whole lot of sense. And it's a very well stated document. But as long as it's not on the official sites that we know, we should not, as leaders, back those kind of documents, because nothing can stop anybody from creating another document and spreading it on social media, and then says that it's from the TBC admin. So I still stand by the fact that even though the document makes a whole lot of sense, it is still invalid until proven valid. And we may hear something from the TBC admin in a week or in this coming week, which is fine. So I don't think there's any need for panic. There's a lot of people are panicking and saying all sorts of things. You don't need to panic. It's just information being shared. And we've come this far. We are not children. We are still babies, but we are not children. We are 3 years. When you talk about 3 years old in cryptocurrency,
really?
How old is Bitcoin? Bitcoin is barely 10 years. Now we are 3 years old. We are not children. When it comes to the longevity of most cryptocurrencies in the markets, most of the cryptocurrencies, they last 6 months to 9 months maximum, and they are dead.
That's right.
So that's my own opinion on what has happened. Then another thing is, I'm going to talk about taxation.
Okay, great subject.
I'm sure you in America, people in the developed world, USA, Europe, Canada, the government doesn't joke with tax.
No.
the highest penalty citizen can get, next to possibly murder or
I know.
those kind of really serious offenses, is tax evasion. As in the way they take that subject in the US, especially because I've watched a lot of documentaries, you think you've sinned against God.
I know. really.
So there may be, and another thing is, Bitcoin, the government is trying to tax Bitcoin, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no way to do it. They are trying to regulate it.
No way to do it.
So what may have happened was a lot of people that probably did business with TBC or Kringles used forms of like maybe PayPal and other, to collect funds, which is not a problem. But once you are transmitting transactions using this kind of payment gateways, you need to know that you should be taxed. There should be a tax on. I'm not too, there's a difference between collecting a gift and the way things are. But
Mm-hmm.
just make sure you cover your bases to make sure that the funds you get from TBC or any other venture or cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, that is changed into fiat, make
Mm-hmm.
sure that the proper tax is performed on it for
Mm-hmm.
safety.
Mm-hmm.
That may have been some omission on a lot of people's parts,
Mm-hmm.
which may have come back. And once the government thinks that, oh, there's this tax evasion involved, they will come in with full force. Secondly,
Mm-hmm.
what I think is someone may have been misinformed about what TBC is.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And then the person, out of ignorance, went to whoever and was trying to get validation from the wrong people about TBC, which may have caused a lot of ruckus.
Mm-hmm.
That's the second point. The third point is the trolls that hate TBC and want to see the downfall of TBC will find no problem
Mm-hmm.
because of their anger to go and kick the hornet's nest on our behalf.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the three things. And what I will advise people is, depending on the country you are in, if you're in the US, Canada, make sure you know the laws of your country and then work in line with the laws to ensure that the law doesn't come after you.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Nigeria, we have the EFCC, we have our own securities and whatever commission in Nigeria, have our own version. Whatever I do, whatever everybody does, we must make sure that it is in line with the laws, and we must not
Mm-hmm.
break it too. But
Mm-hmm.
if anybody is trying to be smart, if you want to be out of the radar, as in totally out, without people poking into what you are doing, restrict your transactions to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies between TBC and Bitcoin. Immediately you are going into fiat, which, like in Nigeria, we have what we call the BVN, bank verification number. Everybody has a BVN, and every transaction that is done in Nigeria with a bank is traced and tracked. Everything you do. So if a transaction goes into your account and the narration states something and the suspect is something, you must be ready to be able to answer that. What is this for? What are these funds for? So, Stephen, I've given my own, is it 2 cents, or I think you
Well,
always,
no, but they're very valuable. I wanted people to listen to you that may not know you like I know you. I want
yeah.
people to listen. Mr. TBC, John Harder. I don't know, John. I don't know if you're near your computer right now. I would love to talk to you because I know you are. Um, I know you're in Mexico, and I know you may have a take on this subject. But we just got to be mindful that we still do TBC like we've been doing it. Nothing should be deviated. People shouldn't not get scared and wonder, what should I do? When they see a video like my leaders. Now she didn't do she wasn't trying to be harmful to anyone or cause any confusion. But sometimes when you're upset about something, you disclose information you didn't intend to disclose. I don't think it was harmful because she really was tearful. She got started crying while she was talking because Carrie loves TBC. I've had conversations with her. She loves TBC. She's deeply saddened that she has to leave, but the SEC or SEC is putting pressure on it for the last 3 months. And all I can say to this, I don't know why they came directly at her. She has a few months before, she had a troll that was bashing her on Facebook. It was terrible. I don't know why people are sitting on her because she's always, at least I've seen, and thousands of people around the world saying she's always done things the right way. She was one of the original people that never got her send button taken away when they only had like 100, 110 people. And I know she made some money. I don't know how she did with her money. It's not my concern. All I know is she was not the only one. And then I found out there's some more people that's well known that you don't hear that much from, like Cindy Shelton. I mean, I may be putting names out there. I don't mean to cause any harm, but I'm gonna just say that we got to keep building underneath the radar and doing things the right way. We need to listen. If we follow what our admin says, then we're fine. But if we deviate from that, that's where the problem lies. Because some people out there have their own agenda. And I'm hearing you from Femi in the past about what people are doing over there. We got 1.4, almost 1.5 million people in TBC just in Nigeria alone. But the question is, are all of them following that agreement that they signed up for? And I'm hearing different things, and I'm wondering, are everyone doing what they should be doing, right? Are they following the blog? Do you ever see me ever deviate from the blog? Never. I pretty much preach the notion of being a student of the blog, my God. I can't convey it any more than I have. And that's why I know what I know. I don't know a lot of things, but I know TBC. I know the blog. And if you do what the admin says, see, I look at it as not just some words, not just some videos. I look at that admin speaking to me, like admin is speaking to you. And admin is speaking to all of us. And so you're doing your own self a disservice and not learning about what's going on in our organization, in our community, but not following what admin says. If you follow what admin says, there will be no problems. Admin is following all the guidelines, all the laws around the world. This is a regular barter system that you can purchase something, and it don't have to be fiat, cash. It could be any item between you and the other person. Now, Femi, let me ask you about that. Isn't it true that the way we work TBC is peer-to-peer? I'm going to ask you about that.
It's, as I said, TBC is direct selling. It's peer-to-peer. It doesn't.
What's wrong with that?
Doesn't go through a third party. If I have a shoe and you have a watch, we can trade.
Yeah.
So it's just trading. We are just going back to what was. We don't want the complication of a third party. That's all.
That's one reason why we don't have an exchange.
Yeah, we don't have an
exchange.
Yeah, we don't have an exchange. Because the exchange, they kind of like you are going into the territory of the monetary system. That's what those are what the exchanges are. Mm-hmm. Because there's an amount of money, fiat, that backs the exchange itself.
Right.
Not just crypto. It is a there's a fiat base.
Yes, it
So it
is.
has to still be in line with the law. But
Mm-hmm.
there's no we don't have an exchange because we don't have a fiat pool of money anywhere. You know,
Nope.
so
Nope.
then
We don't
what
even have to even make we don't even make TBC every day like Bitcoin. All the coins I've already done, they're
exactly?
made. There are only 21 million Bitcoins made. Get this. There's only 16 to 17 million already been done. It's going to take the rest of the next 5 to 10 years to finish the rest, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
But we don't function like that. We don't function by the market. We don't have any third parties out there. That's one of the reasons. Guys, don't y'all know the reason? One of the reasons we didn't start certain third party programs we want to start a few months ago, because this very reason. People are opening up something like a can of worms they shouldn't be doing. Keep
Yeah.
that can shut. Stay underneath the radar. Follow the blog each and every day. You'll never fail in TBC. Because if we follow the blog every day and we still fail, then the fault would be TBC administration. But the last time I checked, they've been right on point on everything they've said so far. So this live broadcast was based on people, talking. I'm
Then
talking a little too much about things.
yeah, Stephen, I also have something that I would like to share with the community if anybody is listening. The TBC admin wrote a blog and he also created a chart that clearly stated a disclaimer. I
Mm-hmm.
think we need to go back and read that disclaimer. The disclaimer states that there are no guarantees in TBC.
Right.
So one problem that I've noticed that a lot of people must have gotten themselves into trouble with is they give guarantees, they give promises to people.
Mm-hmm.
And the words you say, you may think they don't hold any value, but they weigh, you know. So if you are speaking about TBC, any cryptocurrency, if you are speaking about anything in the business world or cryptocurrency, there are no guarantees. The only guarantee is salary. You
That's
know,
right.
there was a
You
chart
work
that
for
said,
it. You
yeah, there
work
was a
for it.
salary and wages, because it is a pre-agreed. You know, you've agreed beforehand that you will be paid at after a couple of hours or
Mm-hmm.
after a month of working. It is guaranteed because it's an agreement, so it holds value. But
Mm-hmm.
for business and TBC, there are no guarantees. Now, what a lot of people do is, in order to get that money, they discard the disclaimer, the TBC disclaimer itself, and then their own personal disclaimer. Because when I'm talking to people about TBC, there are two disclaimers I give them: the TBC as a whole, the disclaimer that comes with it, and then a disclaimer
Mm-hmm.
on my own that states that you are doing this at your own risk.
Yes.
It is a risk you are taking. Now, from what I've observed, when you don't do anything in TBC, that is the risk, because you are not going to earn anything.
Exactly.
But if you do something in TBC, there's a possibility, not a guarantee, that you will earn some money.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially in Nigeria, the first thing they'll ask you if you have a seminar is, this thing that you are presenting, what is the guarantee? That is the first question the people will ask. And because people that are organizing the seminar want to make money, they will quickly say, yes, it is guaranteed that you become a billionaire and a millionaire, which is where the problem comes. Because when those people are not able to get cash from the TBC or Pringles that you've exchanged with them, they will then come after you. Now, if they come after you and they can't do anything to you, they will go to the authorities and tell them that you deceived them, that you're guaranteed something. And then the authorities will then come and find evidence, and there's nothing you can really do about it. But if before you even start a conversation or a business with someone and you clearly stated that this thing you are doing, there are no guarantees and you are doing it at your own risk, but are you ready to risk just $100? If the person says yes, and you exchange or trade $100 worth of TBC, it becomes the person's property. Now the person has no right on this planet to come back to you and ask you that this thing that you sold to me, I can't use it. The person has no right. But if you exclude the disclaimer from your conversation, the person has the right to come back to you because you have given him a guarantee. So those are the things, those are the little things, little vocabulary, things we need to, they are basic things, but a lot of people say successfully in TBC. When people approach me, my disclaimer is larger than the explanation. My disclaimer, I'll tell you, look, this is cryptocurrency. There are no guarantees. But yeah, if you do what you need to do, you may make money. I make money. And if you follow the instruction, you may make money. And the person says, okay, let me try what but I've already given you a disclaimer. So guys, please be careful out there. The only guarantee is when you promise someone salary. Business and every single cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin, there are no guarantees of profit or sales. So thank you, Stephen.
I tell you, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. That's why I wanted you to come on to speak to people today, because that's why I tell all you all, y'all need to be, everyone here on this chat, y'all need to be. He's got a live broadcast coming on not long after mine, and y'all need to be there because you'll learn something from Femi. He's one of the best broadcasters out there. I'm telling you. His subject matters are impeccably great. I highly recommend you. He provides data to some of the things he talks about as well. I'm telling you, I need to support him. I appreciate everyone that supports me on a daily basis. I really do. And for those that missed my live broadcast, it's coming in later, please go back and watch it because you missed some important pieces that you need to listen to. It's been an honor being with you all today. This broadcast was not to bash the government, to the banking system, no one out there, nobody out there. It was designed to enlighten us that we got to be doing things the right way. It is your responsibility. It's not, if you get something from any authority in your country about TBC, it's not up for the TBC to help you. I'm telling you because I know this, and this has nothing to do with TBC.
Stephen, thank you for that. Thank you for that statement. And I think you need to repeat it twice.
It is not up for TBC or any organization you are in to help you if your authority in your country come after you for something. Don't get nervous. My God, People, are you worried about you going to be handcuffed and locked up because people ask you a question? Come on. Answer, excuse the expression, answer the damn question. Know what TBC is. Know what it isn't. Answer the question, my God. Answer the questions they give you. Be honest with them. When you lie about something you're in, then you're digging a hole. I used to tell people that, I used to tell criminals these things. You keep making the same mistake over again. That's why you're falling in your hole. All you need to do is be honest with people that's coming into our community. And there's one last thing, Femi, and the rest of you all, that came to my mind. What I think is happening, what I believe is happening, and that is we have people out there who are not properly educating people. And I'm going to tell you why I know this is true. I have a guy that reached out for me about a week ago. He was on our live chat. He was asking some questions. And he was telling me over the phone how he found about TBC. This person actually told him he'll be able to cash out. He used that word cash out. When he gets to all that, when he gets to $1 million or $500,000. I said, sir, someone lied, and maybe they just didn't really know. I don't know who their leader was giving them wrong information. So we have people that came into TBC that gave people wrong information. And that perpetuates itself around the world. And now you got a problem. So it takes a person like me, or Femi, or Christina Tagway, or Bess Powell of New Zealand, people that are leaders here that can tell you the right way to function in TBC. And now I'm finding great people like Carrie, the Whitefish lady, and maybe Cindy, and a few other people that's getting out of TBC because the heat been put on them for some people. And I don't know why that's happening. And it's really not my business. Oh, I could be concerned about what happens to me if something like that happened. But I'm keeping my eyes open. I'm doing things the right way. I love my country, despite that they're not perfect, and they do make mistakes like any other country at times. But we overall got to be doing some things right to be where we are in our country at this point. I think famous country, Nigeria, I can't wait to see it because I've seen some video that he gave me. They're doing some great things in that country. People from all over the world comes to Nigeria. But I'm going to say this to you. Ladies and gentlemen, we best do things the right way and follow that blog. Like you need to be a student of that blog like it's no tomorrow. If you want to be successful in the billion coin. You best do what it says. You best do what admin tells you. I can't say that's the reason why people got in trouble.
Hello, Stephen.
Go ahead.
Yeah, one thing I also want to add is we have on the coin market cap over 2,000 coins, maybe, listed. And then outside the coin market cap, we have thousands of other coins that have not even made it to the coin market cap. I personally have a portfolio of almost 20 different coins, with TBC included as one of them. And then I also have a lot of airdrops from so many other cryptocurrencies. So maybe my portfolio is almost getting to 30, 35 coins.
Mm-hmm.
Why
Mm-hmm.
would I, if you are going to investigate or come after me for TBC, then you have to ask questions about everything that I do in cryptocurrency, including Bitcoin.
Yes.
Including Bitcoin. You have to do that too. You have to find Satoshi. You have to find Satoshi.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and as long as there's no justification for anything, cryptocurrency is cryptocurrency. So and as I just said, education is just your lifeline. Education and doing the right thing. If you are making shortcuts, that is when there's going to be trouble, and
Yes,
you don't
that's
tell the
the
truth.
problem. Mm-hmm.
So thank you, Stephen.
Man, I tell you, this has been great. I mean, I love this live broadcast. And I love this TBC community to no end. All of you are fantastic. All of you out there in the TBC community. Just follow the blog, people. Just please do that. Don't deviate from anything else. Don't listen to the outside chatter. Come on, guys and ladies. Come on. Some, you know, Randy said this expression one time in his live broadcast. Some people have what you call, and it's no, this is no stepping on nobody's toes. Some people have a weak mind. You got to develop a stronger mind. You know, some of you need to be listening as some people, some great thinkers, some great people that have done well in their lives around the world. Great speakers. I feed my mind with these people. That's why I'm not afraid of no one out there. If you can communicate adequately and know what you're talking about and speak with a sense of authority and encouragement, you can defeat anybody out there. Now, some things you can't handle that a lawyer can handle because that's their profession. And they have a certain amount of integrity with the court. I'm speaking because I know this. This is what I used to see every day. I used to talk to lawyers and judges every day. Every day. We ate meals. I ate meals with these people. I'm telling you that I know because this was my work for 22 years. I'm telling you all, they're no different in the federal court, no different in the highest court, the Supreme Court, which is the highest court in the United States. They're no different. But they're one thing that we all are, and we are human beings, people. And we are priceless. And when we bring in that mighty, what they call in the United States, that mighty dollar, that's where the problem lies with a lot of people. Learn to see learn to see people and things out there for what they really are. Then you will be okay. Then you can see whether you can handle it or not. People jump the gun and say things or do things too soon, and then they get themselves in trouble. And I'm not saying that's what people out there that's been questioned about TBC lately, what they're dealing with. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I'm seeing all the data. All the data has been put out just in the last few days. And first, Randy and I thought that the trolls had quieted down a little bit. And all of a sudden now, it seems like that some things are starting back up again. I'm just seeing in this broadcaster's chat that Randy, he said it'd be in Hawaii. And he said that, so Stephen Tyrone Cuffey would again do the send button in broadcasters meeting. Well, I already knew that. And Stephen, he said, we are grateful for your commitment, brother. It is great to see you carry the torch for the TBC community. You know, I would never thought just back in March of this year, or February, I would say. That'd be where I am today. And it's only because of one little thing. It's just the blog. That's all it is. The blog is where it put me where I am. I just did what admin asked me to do. That's all I did. I had a few conversations with Randy. I didn't even really know Randy as my true friend. Conversation to about maybe about 3 or 4 months ago. He was watching me. I was watching him. I was working behind the scenes doing what I was supposed to do before I even. Guys, ladies and guys, I've been reading and studying the blog ever since I got it on February 24th of 2016. I went back and read every blog from the day since its conception. The very first blog came out on April 2nd of 2016. I started there and went through everyone, and I've seen everyone and read everyone. I'm just saying this is what I do. I'm not saying everybody be like me, but I'm telling you what has worked for me may not. I'm not saying it will work for you. You got to try it. Sometimes people do things and leave a trail too. You know that? Sometimes people do that. They used to do. That's what criminals do it all the time. They think they're smart in everyone, but they always leave a trail, and they don't realize they do. That's the astonishing thing. But regular people do that too. They do things, and sometimes they do things with no malicious intent. So I'm sorry that some people would have to leave TBC based on certain things that's happened to them or others. But you best don't let the powers that be sport every waking thing in your life. Please don't do that. I hope that my leader comes back to TBC, because she was one of the most honest people doing things by the book. And as far as I know, okay? So all I can say is I hope I don't get called to speak on someone's behalf, but I am an expert in the courtroom. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I am not intimidated by anybody. I just respect them. I was taught how to speak in a courtroom. So I'm afraid if I get called in, they got the right one. I'm just telling you. This was my expertise. I was taught how to function under those terms. So, all I can say is just follow the guidelines, people. Please do. Please follow the guidelines. Please do that. And everybody will be okay. TBC is not going anywhere. At this point, I haven't heard any talk like that. When people see Carrie's video and see that document come out, they get nervous. Stop being nervous. TBC is fine. Fine, people. I'm sorry that this broadcast went just a little over an hour. I apologize for this, but I wanted to drive home a point today. Stop worrying. Just build the community, my God. Just build our community. Do what admin expect of you. My God, they give you more cookies that's worth thousands of dollars if you do it in a timely fashion. Okay? Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. And I'll be joining you pretty soon, my brother.
Right. I'll be jumping to my broadcast now.
Okay, I know I'm joining your time now. I apologize for that.
No,
Thank
no
you so
problem.
much, sir. Thank you so much. Y'all have
All
a
right.
wonderful day. Bye, little Kaylin. Bye, my loved one. Thank you all for being there for me. Y'all was excellent. All of you, no questions I see here. Everybody's answering each other questions. HM Irene, thank you for all your what you stated about Ponzi schemes and people. There are things out there in WhatsApp groups. I mean, just be careful what you hear. Like Femi and I both said, follow the blog and you'll be fine. Just follow the blog. Stop listening to all the other stuff out there. You see it, read it, then let it go by the wayside until it's confirmed in the blog. You all have a wonderful day. Thank you, Femi, for coming on and all your valuable things you said. Thank you, everyone. And please, people, go to Femi's. It's on the TBC Revolution on YouTube. Subscribe to his YouTube channel. Okay, I'll be there. Hopefully, I see a lot of you over there. Okay, have a wonderful day. Bye bye, y'all.